Are there black people here tonight?
Yeah.
And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color.
So Pharrell, the super producer, who's accomplished all sorts of things, won all sorts of things, has made music that has been the soundtrack for a generation. He was recently, I think it was this past weekend, he was awarded the key to Miami, the key to Miami-Dade County. Let me be very specific about that. And he was also recognized as a part of something they call 5th Annual Black Ambition Demo Day. And, you know, this event had a bunch of investors, founders, artists, a lot of people that are in sort of Pharrell's industry or sphere of influence. They were there to see Pharrell get this award. So he had some comments about sort of race and politics that I'd like to play for you now, and then I'm going to react to it on the other side.
As we look at what's going on, the current political climate, I'm just saying I don't want to turn anybody off, I hate politics. Like, despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are only, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just gotta say, like, think about it. The wells are drying up, and okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on. And if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that.
All right. So here's what I didn't like about what Pharrell said. Respectfully, there has been this framing that black people want to be given things just because they're black. The framing did not come from black people. The framing came from white people. And frankly, it's a white supremacist talking point. And the entire framing, as we know, around diversity, equity, and inclusion is steeped in white people having hacked or having created their own definition of DEI, which was never the intention or purpose of DEI. What these same people do not understand, and I don't think Pharrell understands this based off his commentary, is that the whole point of DEI was not to just give people jobs and give people opportunities just based off their skin color or based off them being a woman. The entire point of DEI was to include people who were historically excluded from jobs, from promotions, from consideration. That was the entire point. Black people have understood the number one rule for a long time, longer than white people understood it. That's for sure. What's the number one thing, or at least among the many things that black people are told, black children are told from the time you get here on this planet? What are we all told? We got to be twice as good to get what? Say it with me, black people at home. Half as much. We have always understood that the only way we are going to open doors is with our excellence. The only way. We know we can't be mediocre. They're not even looking to let us in the door. So we think we got the ability to be mediocre? No. It's either excellence or bust for us. So him giving this whole speech about you want to be known for being black or the best, like, you giving that to us? You need to get that speech to white people because we're not the ones saying it. most of the time, most Black people are overqualified for the positions that they're in, because we know there can't be one small crack in our game, because they looking for reason and excuses to exclude us because they ain't want to include us anyway. So what? Right? We don't have that privilege. And what I also say, and this is where I think people in a certain class lose perspective and are out of touch with reality. Pharrell said, let me replay this so I can make sure that I heard this correctly about what he said, because I don't want to misquote him. So let's hear this one more time, what he said about politics.
At what's going on, the current political climate, I'm just saying to, I don't want to turn anybody off, I hate politics, like despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are only, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yes.
When you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division. To say this at this time in our country is extremely tone deaf, because there is a side to pick right now. And this is not about really political party. This is about simple right and wrong and what side of history that you want to be on. So if I reject a party right now that is firmly confident in their white supremacy, that is firmly confident in pushing ideals, propaganda, legislation that backs up and bolsters white supremacist ideology, I shouldn't stand in opposition to that because I'm the one creating the division? Houseway, how am I promoting the division by standing in opposition to certain things? And I just think that it's awfully easy when you're Pharrell and you're worth a sum of money I will never see in my life, and no one in this chat will either. You could probably combine everything all of us right now that are on this live are making, and we wouldn't even have Pharrell's change in his couch. It's just awfully easy to take that I don't do politics role when you have that much money. It's really easy to do that. That's a privileged position to be in. And listen, I'm not throwing this rock from a glass house. I realize there's certain privileged positions I get to take just based off who I am and what I've been able to accomplish in my life. I fully understand that. And so as much as possible, I try to make sure I'm touching grass and staying in reality, so that I don't say things to people like, politics is about division. And nah, dog, that's not what politics is about. Politics for most of us is the determining factor of so much in our lives. It was my father-in-law who I believe said this: either you deal with politics or politics is going to deal with you. It's one of the two. Most of us are not in a position where we can just say, I'm tapping out, I'm unplugging, I'm ignoring, I'm not picking a side. And by the way, Pharrell saying that he doesn't pick a side is not true. Because as many who have heard what he had to say in Miami while receiving this wonderful award of recognition pointed out that it wasn't that long ago, in the last few years, that Pharrell performed for the Friends of Israeli Soldiers. So if you're choosing to perform for Israel, you are indeed picking a side. So you're comfortable picking a side with something that you agree with or something that you see as politically important. That is politically picking a side. And so I find it to be a little tone deaf when you're a celebrity and you're able to take these positions of being distanced because you don't have to actually deal with the consequences. The rest of us actually have to do that. And it's like, we don't get the privilege of being disconnected. That's all I know. And so, yeah, I understand this is a divisive time in this country. I get that the divisiveness has, in many ways, made a lot of our lives a lot harder. But sort of supporting a political disengagement is not the answer. It's like, if anything, it's our lack of political involvement and our abundance of political apathy that has created the situation that we're in right now. We don't need less people to care about politics. We need more people to care about politics, so that we can have a level of accountability among the constituents where we can press these politicians on both sides to do what is actually right by the people. The reason why a lot of people feel disconnected from politics is because they don't feel as if the politics touches them. They don't see where the progress is being made. But do understand that politicians, they love your apathy. They love it. They feed off of it. They're hoping less of you vote, because that's less accountability for them. If they never suffer any consequences for the things that they do, or when they go against the will of the people, then why should they ever side with you to begin with? Why should they fight for you if you never make them pay for not doing it? So, yeah, it is, we have to. And then, again, as I said, with this whole framing that somehow, Black people just want to be given jobs and opportunities, and they just want to create pathways just because we're Black. That's not it at all. It's never been that way for us. That has literally never been our existence. We've never been able to do that. We have never been able to show up on nobody's job at no interview and say, just give this to me because I'm Black. What? No. If anything, I would say white people are able to do that, not us. So, Pharrell, you talking to the wrong folks.